You're on the couch at 10:17 p.m., one sock half off, phone 6 inches from your face, blue light washing over the room. Your dog is pressed against your shin so hard you can feel the heat through the blanket. Then it happens. One paw rises, slow, deliberate. It lands on your wrist with just enough weight to stop your thumb from scrolling. Warm pads, 2 nails catching the cuff of your sleeve, not scratching, not swatting, just staying there like your arm is suddenly the most important object in the house. And because that scene is so familiar, you tell yourself the obvious thing: they want attention. That sounds reasonable. It even sounds correct. Except if this is only attention, why does it happen after the walk, after dinner, after the water bowl is full, after you've already rubbed that exact spot behind the ear for a full minute? Why does your dog sometimes put a paw on you at the precise moment they already have everything they need? That tiny gesture is bigger than it looks, much bigger, and most dog owners have no idea. In 2003, researchers at Haute-Vaux-Lorraine University tested 14 pet dogs with an unsolvable task. Food placed inside a container the dogs could not open. Then cameras recorded what the dogs did next. They didn't just keep trying alone. They turned back to the human. They moved closer. They used eye contact, body orientation, and physical contact to pull the person into the problem. That matters because your dog's paw is often not a vending machine request. It's closer to a child tugging your sleeve in a crowded store, not because they need an object, but because they need you involved. So when that paw lands on your arm, your dog may not be saying, "Give me something." Your dog may be saying, "Join me in this moment." And that still isn't the deepest layer. In 2015, researchers at Azabu University in Japan studied 30 dog-human pairs and measured oxytocin before and after interaction. Oxytocin is the feeling of "you can exhale now," the chemistry of trust, the body's way of saying, "you're safe with me." The method was simple: let dogs and humans interact naturally, then measure what changed. What changed was enormous. When dogs and humans held each other's gaze, oxytocin rose in both. Then the researchers pushed further. They repeated a similar setup with hand-raised wolves. Zero effect. No loop. No shared oxytocin rise. That means dogs didn't just learn to live beside you. They evolved a self-reinforcing emotional circuit with you. Contact creates chemistry. Chemistry creates more contact. More contact deepens the bond. It loops. It loops. It loops. And a paw is one of the cleanest ways to keep that loop open. So when your dog puts a paw on you, they may be doing something far more intimate than asking for petting. They may be trying to change both your nervous systems at once. That's the part people remember. But where did that come from? About 14,200 years ago, near what is now Bonn, Germany, a dog was buried with 2 humans. Archaeologists later found something heartbreaking in its bones. The dog had survived repeated bouts of canine distemper as a puppy, an illness so brutal it would have left it feverish, weak, and unable to care for itself for weeks. Which means somebody did. Somebody kept that animal alive when it was expensive, exhausting, and inconvenient. Somebody fed it when it couldn't feed itself, cleaned it. Behaviorists protected it, stayed near it. That kind of care does not happen across species unless signals exist that can pull it out of you. Across thousands of years, the dogs who could reach into human attention, hold human contact, and trigger human caregiving didn't just get comfort. They survived. They reproduced. They shaped the dog sleeping beside you now. And it turns out this isn't just behavior. It's written into their biology. In 2017, a team from Princeton University and Oregon State University compared domestic dogs and human socialized wolves and found structural variants in genes linked to hypersociability, including genes in the same region associated with Williams syndrome in humans. The implication was blunt. Some dogs are biologically biased towards seeking human social contact. So that paw on your arm is not random habit, and that it's one expression of a body built to reach toward you, which is exactly why the next part feels so strange. You'd expect a dog who's deeply bonded to you to need less contact, less checking in, less reaching. But in 1998, researchers at Haute-Vaux-Lorraine University adapted the strange situation test, the same attachment protocol used with human infants, and observed 51 dogs with their humans. The dogs who were most attached were not the most detached. They were the most affected by separation and the most motivated to re-establish contact on reunion. That sounds backward until you see the deeper mechanism. Attachment doesn't make your dog independent of you. It makes your presence function like a secure base. Your dog explores because you're there. And when something feels uncertain, your dog comes back to regulate against you. So the paw is not proof that your dog is clingy. Sometimes it's proof that your dog knows exactly where safety lives. But how deep does this actually go? In 2022, researchers using simultaneous heart rate monitoring on dog-human pairs tracked heart rate variability, the tiny changes in the spacing between heartbeats that reveal what the autonomic nervous system is doing under the surface. They found something most people would never expect. Bonded dogs and humans can show physiological synchrony during close interaction, especially touch and reunion. Not just matching behavior, matching regulation. Your dog's body can start aligning with yours, which means this is the sentence that changes the whole scene. Sometimes your dog is not asking for your attention. Your dog is asking to share your state. There's one last thing you need to hear, and it might be the most important part of this video, because a paw on you can be bonding, affection, reassurance, or a check-in. But a sudden increase in pawing can also be a quiet signal that something is wrong. If the pawing becomes repetitive, urgent, paired with lip licking, yawning, pacing, trembling, pinned ears, whale eye, restless following, staring at doors, or new clinginess, don't brush it off as cute. If it starts happening at odd hours, during rest, or with changes in appetite, sleep, or movement, pay attention. Your dog has only behavior, no words, no complaint, no neat explanation, just patterns. And your job is to notice when the pattern changes. So go back to that couch. 10:17 p.m. One sock half off. Phone 6 inches from your face. Blue light on the wall. Your dog pressed against your shin. One paw rising slowly. Warm pads on your wrist. 2 nails catching the cuff of your sleeve. An hour ago, that looked like a demand. Now you know it can be a request for connection, a bid for co-regulation, an echo of thousands of years of selection, a behavior shaped all the way down to genes and heartbeat. Your dog is not just touching you, your dog is reaching for the place inside you that feels like home. If you want more videos that make tiny animal behaviors impossible to ignore, subscribe. And tell me in the comments, lap or arm,